Welcome in, everybody, to the Launchpad Reseller Podcast. How is everybody today?
Hey.
Hello, hello.
Bob's in at the last second here.
Oh,
There he is.
there he is.
What's up, party people?
You just about got a check mark, buddy.
We never doubted him 1
Hey.
second.
Yeah, right.
This is what happens when you have a 9 to 5. I don't recommend it at all.
man. Oh,
Sorry, y'all.
God.
I apologize.
No, that's okay. I was like, we're going to run without him. I'm not sure. Well, welcome
Ellie's
in.
got
My name's-
this.
I was
Ellie's
nervous.
got it.
It's okay. I'm Tennessee Treasures. We've got Bob. He made it. Rocket City Reseller. And we have Ruth Ann, Four Seasons Picker, with us today. Ruth Ann, thanks for joining us.
Yes,
And
thanks for having me.
yeah, we've got our guest stars, the Giants on Whatnot right now in all things vintage. House of Coop, thank you for joining us.
Welcome to
Thank
the
you
House
for
of Coop. Hey,
Tired.
Let's go.
You want another 9 to 5?
Yeah, right. All the jingles. So,
that's awesome.
how is everybody today?
I'm good.
Well, I'm running around like a chicken with my head cut off. Sorry, y'all.
Me too.
Yeah.
But isn't that reselling?
The
In a
name of the
nutshell?
game.
That's the real, right?
That
So,
is.
House of Coop, thanks for being here. Y'all are just absolutely a master at the craft and vintage house and home decor. Let me just tell you, it's been a pleasure watching you guys on Whatnot. You are absolutely tearing it up on the scene. So good for you guys. Yeah, I can't
Definitely.
believe
So
it.
much.
We appreciate the invite and that compliment. It means a lot to us. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
absolutely.
Very often do I see 1,500 people in a show. The other day I was in your show when you had about 1,500 or so folks in
That's
there.
crazy.
And it was absolutely wildfire. And how do you keep up with that? That's a good intro question before we get into who you are and how you came to be. What is it? What is it like? Tell us what it's like, because we're all Whatnot sellers and we don't know what that feels like.
It's very surreal. That's the one word we've came up with when anyone asks us about any of it. It's like, it's surreal. Like, I don't know how you put it into words. Like, it doesn't, like it happens more regularly for us. And it's typically on Ray trains that we're doing that we see those numbers. So there's never a like getting used to it moment. You're not like, oh yeah, I'm comfortable. I got 1,500 people. Like, that's surreal, wild, whatever word you want to put there. But we do have a good team. Obviously, we have each other to kind of bounce off, which really helps us. And then we do have a hired full-time mod who helps keep us in check and keeps things flowing. So there's really a lot that's going on in the back end that people don't see that really helps keep it what everyone's seeing, keep flowing easy and nice and smooth.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing.
That's
That is
amazing. I
That is
guess my
amazing.
question is, when did you turn the corner on this? I mean, when did you go from struggling to maybe keep people, get cross bidders, to all of a sudden you're just like, wow, how did this happen? What do you think turned that corner?
So we just this last month, April, was our 1 year being full-time. So I'd say full-time reselling on Whatnot, where we both quit our, full-time careers. So I think about a year ago is when we really felt like, okay, we need to make a decision because we can't juggle our careers plus doing this full-time and it be picking up. It's your time, Bob. This is your sign.
It must be. It must be.
But there wasn't, like a green light. It was a very, again, we've been doing this 2 years now on the app. So it was a really slow, consistent build. There wasn't like a day that was just like, oh my gosh, like we've grown. But we've just always been a well-oiled machine. And we never had any expectation when we first started. We didn't have any major goals or someone we were looking up to necessarily of where we wanted to be. We just were always grateful for where we were at. And I think we were just able to appreciate the process and grow with it. So I don't know if we had an aha moment, but we definitely were like, we want more of this and we want to put more time into it.
Well, I think maybe the aha moment where we knew like it was turning the corner is I looked at her one day and I said, one of us has to quit our job because we're losing money by working. Like, we're losing money not doing Whatnot and not having more shows and not, being able to ship out and have bigger shows. And that was kind of the moment. It kind of hit out of nowhere. And fun fact, of course, it was me trying to quit my job. So, that was a really fun conversation to have with your wife. Keep working. I'm going to just stay and go thrift and everything else. It was a really fun conversation. So
That's awesome.
So let's rewind a little bit. Before you said you went full-time April last year. How long before that, and how did you get into reselling to begin with?
So really, a long story short, we grew up, both of our moms, heavily into thrifting our whole lives. So we always knew kind of how to find good things for a good price, but we never really saw the world of reselling until Jacob kind of dabbled into that. I don't know if you want to tell real quick how you found it.
Yeah, so we started, what actually got us into it is we were building a new home, and we were first shopping at all the home goods, everything else like that. And I'm like, we're not going to be able to cover the down payment on the home and the rest of everything we need to if we keep buying all this expensive stuff. So we came up with the idea of we're going to thrift everything for our house. Like, it was just a personal goal. Like, the things we're seeing at these stores, we know we can get thrifting. We've grown up doing it. So it just turned into like a fun hobby. Like, let's, on weekends, we're going to Goodwill. We're going all these different places. We had never been to an estate sale. The first estate sale, we knocked on the door because we didn't think we could walk in. Like, we had no clue about anything, and
No idea.
So it just turned into a thing of then all of a sudden reselling started pulling up on my TikTok and everything. And I started watching all these different resellers, and I'm like, wait, you can make money doing this? Like, you can actually resell it. And that just kind of turned into doing a little bit of here and there.
And, we live near Sarasota, Florida, Bradenton, Florida, and our thrift stores are some of the top in the country. So everybody comes to Florida to retire. So we just found, as we were thrifting, we were finding so much good stuff. And so we kind of put 2 and 2 together, and we came across hearing about Whatnot, and we just kind of started as a hobby. And here we are.
Wow.
2 years later, that hobby blossomed quickly.
Now you've got your golden wings.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Do you mind me asking, what were you guys working in before?
Yeah, I was an event planner for 15 years, and the last 3 years I was a resort manager as well. So trying to stay, at one location and still handling events. And Jacob was in sales his whole life.
Yeah, I was in insurance for the last 4 years. So it was such an exciting job. I was, love to be there every day.
I'm smelling some sarcasm. I love that.
But he was good. He's a good with people, good with talking. I never thought I'd be in any type of sales position. But we're very passionate about vintage in general, and definitely decorating our own home. We're in my collection room, so we love it.
That's awesome.
He's shaking it.
You obviously have great taste, so
Thank you so much.
it shows in your product and your show. And then I've been crawling all over your social media, and we have a lot of people from your community in the chat today. I'm going to pause here because we didn't get your true introduction, and just kind of allow you an opportunity to speak to your audience that might be watching today. If there's something like you'd like to say, because I know there's been some health concerns and other things. Jacob, I hope you're feeling better. So what do you want to say to the community? I'll give you the stage right now to just do so. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger to do that. Okay.
Sure.
All right, go ahead.
This is fantastic. Well, we appreciate everybody hopping on. We've been posting about the podcast. This is our first ever podcast we've ever been in. And if this is your first time seeing us, my name is Ashley. This is my amazing and healthy husband, Jacob. We are the Coopers, aka House of Coop. We are full-time vintage resellers only on Whatnot. And we also love sharing our in between the shows daily life on social media. So we show, again, our personal life, what we like to collect, how we decorate. And we love, obviously, sharing those finds with you guys as well. So thank you for everybody showing up for us today. It means a lot.
Yeah, and for our community showing up. We always say we lead with love. And that's the atmosphere we always want to have whenever we're in any environment. So the fact that people lead with love back and show up for us means the world to us.
Everything.
So thank you for anyone who's here.
All right, perfect.
Group hug.
I wanted to give you guys an opportunity to address the community because they're
Thank
a big
you.
part of Whatnot. We are all, we are a community in practice. That's the point of this podcast. So, we didn't do the intro as proper, but the point of this podcast is to bring the community together in practice. We are firm believers that not just Whatnot, resellers in general need to be better about being a reseller's reseller. So we wanted to give a stage and a platform to everybody that is in the space to come together and, like-minded folks doing like-minded things and having a lot of success doing that and sharing our journey along the way. So we appreciate you. So
Absolutely.
absolutely. So our proper intro would have been something like, "Welcome to the House of Coop." I love it.
Sang it.
Every time I
Let's
come
rewind. Let's rewind, guys.
We're
Welcome.
not live.
I'm doing
Hey.
it. Welcome to the House of Coop.
Hey, welcome to the House of Coop.
I love that.
So yeah, Ellie, I'm gonna let Ellie take this interview over because I tend to talk too much. So
I feel you.
and we invited Four Seasons pickers. If you guys didn't know, Ruth Ann is a master in the vintage game. I'd like to think.
Yeah, I
she
love
has a lot
vintage,
of
so.
lot of experience. I've learned a ton from her. I even know what a hens on the nest is. Thanks to Ruth Ann, of course, she's a picker. So even I can learn, guys. So I'm gonna let these guys take over, and I'm gonna go ahead and go off camera for just a second. I appreciate y'all.
Okay, we left off at you guys starting and where you worked, right? So you work in sales. And how long were you guys doing part-time? Was it just, I can't remember if it's 3 years
year.
total or?
Yeah, we've been now on Whatnot a little over 2 years actively selling. So it was about a year of doing it part-time. 6 months of that, like really part-time, not really giving it anything except just whatever we felt like on a whim. So 6 months of kind of being serious about it.
Wow. Okay, so you've got 2 years, and what do your stats look like on Whatnot? Excuse me.
So we just hit 83,000 friends. We call them friends, not followers. That's important to us. We always want everybody watching us, spending time with us to feel a part of House of Coop. How many items sold? 52,000.
I just looked at it. It's like 52 or 53,000 items in 2
years.
Which I've shipped every single item out. We don't have a shipping team, anything like that. So actually, after this podcast, I'm going to finish last night's show. So life of a reseller never stops. But
That's
then,
1,000 items.
of course, we are a premier shop. We pride ourselves on hitting all the stats to be a premier shop, a source that you can trust. And 5-star reviews. We read every single review that we get. It's like our daily encouragement. When we wake up, we go straight to our reviews with our coffee and kick that off. So we're very thankful for our community.
That's amazing. I finished watching I think it was something like 10 months ago, a shipping video you guys have. If you guys aren't following House of Coop, but here on YouTube as well as Facebook and Instagram, let us know where we can follow you. But that was a great shipping kind of tutorial that you guys held. You guys also talked about there's a monthly, is it Vintage Wars? Vintage Wars? Is that what it is?
We had Vintage Wars. We did a whole solid year of starting the first vintage competition ever on Whatnot, and it grew to having over 1,000 people watching with how we were strategic about which sellers we chose. And then we were like, okay, our own brand is growing so much. It's time to really put full force into House of Coop. So then we kind of switched gears and did raid trains with other sellers, which we had never had the opportunity to do. And a raid train is basically a scheduled group of sellers doing a specific theme. So we tried literally every style Whatnot and Vintage has to offer, really just showcasing what we can do. We're very eclectic with the type of vintage. So when you're shopping with us, there's literally something for everyone. And we just learned so much every time we're on the app. Still to this day, we're learning something new about vintage, antiques. So now we're just really honing in and making sure we're taking care of our own brand and growing. So it's been a wild ride.
Brand is so important in the reselling space. I can't speak enough about that. If you guys are really serious about turning your hustle into actual 9 to 5, like I'm currently working, you definitely want to think about your brand as, it is important to a business. You're an entrepreneur. If you don't think of yourself that way, you're just got to change your mindset. It really is just that, right? Sounds like that's what you guys did.
That's 100%. And that's the thing. We host every other Tuesday. We do seller support show for Whatnot sellers. And the number one thing we've been preaching is your branding. It's important that people know who you are, especially on a live selling platform, because you're trying to grow your audience, but nobody knows who you are, your brand, anything about you. Like obviously you don't want it to be just about you. You need to bring the best products, put on a good show as far as how you're running items that looks organized, but that branding is what's going to keep people around. And, that's so important.
What do you think would be your best tips to somebody who doesn't understand branding or know the power of it? So like, what are the steps that you guys have taken to make sure House of Coop is a known name, and to be able to get into something like a magazine, so that was pretty big. So
first off, the first magazine we got into, it's Who You Know. So thankfully, shout out to Angela L, another seller on Whatnot, got us into the first one and kind of opened the door for the second one. So,
okay.
That was really cool. But branding, it's first off, it's consistency. And one thing that has always been in our family and how we grew up is always doing the right thing no matter what. So if you want to have a brand, you better be doing the right thing. There's a saying that we have is, if you protect your character, you never have to defend your reputation. And so that's what we really focus on and have focused on since the beginning. So if we're doing the right thing and we're showing up consistently and bringing the best that we can and giving people the best experience, if they're going to come invest 3 hours of their time with us, we need to make it worthwhile for them. And we want them to feel welcomed. We want them to feel like they get to know us. And at the same time, we want to get to know them. And that's how you can simply turn a brand into something that people want to keep coming back and seeing, is just doing the right thing. There's not, people I think overlook it a lot of times and are looking for like this magic sauce or a magic button to hit. And it's like, it takes time. It's definitely not overnight, but if you can just do the right things consistently, that's when you'll see it.
And definitely being your authentic self. No one can replicate you. So just definitely leaning into your own skills and showing who you are, as well as supporting. I know you said resellers supporting other resellers, but we say the same thing, sellers supporting sellers. We really believe in community over competition in every aspect. And it speaks volumes about a brand when they can support other people in the same space.
Absolutely.
That's part of the reason why we wanted to do this podcast, for those reasons alone. So that's awesome. You guys feel that way too. Integrity is important, and that's what you guys are talking about, right? Mm-hmm. Doing the right thing when no one's looking. That's the definition of integrity in my mind. So,
definitely.
Well done.
I guess I was going to ask, do you feel like, because both of you kind of worked in, I guess, some essence of a customer service, right? You have to have customer service for sales, and I assume like for event planning, you have to be very kind of willing to have that customer service. It sounds like you guys have great morals starting, from the get-go, but do you think that helped you in kind of the customer service behind your own business now?
Oh yeah, like especially because obviously like customer service is number one. But when our experience first getting on the app, Whatnot's grown so much, but when we first got on, there really wasn't a good seller support show on. We had reached out to a couple people, really didn't hear back. People weren't big on answering messages. And we always said we never wanted to make others feel that way. We always want to be an open door. We will always treat people, whether we have 4 people in a room or 500 people in our room, we want everybody to get that same experience. So I think just with that mindset, it's huge to be able to take the time to speak with people.
And it kind of helps on the back end, I was in sales, so not every sale goes according to plan, and you gotta, if you make a mistake, you gotta be able to own up to it to keep that credibility. And there's been, we've shipped 53,000 items, we sell vintage. There's been breaks along the way. And, we didn't have that background of being able to, just kind of suck it up and say, hey, I apologize, that's on me, and make it right to them. You can really let that get personal. And that's when you start to do bad in business, is when you're taking that stuff personal. So it's kind of just suck it up. Hey, we're moving on. Here's your money back, or whatever we can do. And just make it right and make it true and sincere, where they don't feel like it's just a automated AI email back to them.
We always say we want to get better, not bitter. So everything that happens is just a new opportunity to be better the next time.
I love that.
And when you're selling vintage, you can't, there's a chip that you miss. I mean, you're going to miss a chip.
Absolutely.
No matter how hard you look, you're going to miss one. So
yeah.
Absolutely. So I noticed something that when we were doing full screen, you have some Whatnot earrings on. Let's talk about it.
I do. I got to shout out Fox and Crane.
All right, let's do it. We're going to make you big, and we're going to shout her out. I'm going to clip this. So Good.
All right. I'm going to shout out Fox and Crane on Whatnot. She is now one of the first Whatnot Japan sellers that we know. And before she moved, she micro crocheted these Whatnot earrings. I bought them probably a year ago. She was in Battle of the Best, a competition train, and I fought for my life and won these. I always say I won them, but I bought them. But now it's a staple, a part of my Whatnot like show uniform, and everybody knows me for the Whatnot earrings. So
Yeah, those are cute.
love Fox and Crane.
There you go. I got something that I picked up along the way too. You guys want to see?
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay. Here he is.
Oh yeah.
That one's so bad.
Oh,
So
That's
cool.
awesome.
We never got one of those, but we did get one of the wind up little toys once upon a
Yeah,
time.
the wind up waddies.
Yeah,
That's
and
why
we
branding's so
love-
important, right?
Is.
This is why branding is so important, y'all, because you associate, and this is something that I did in my own reselling business. We have a mascot, and his name is Cosmo. He's a rocket.
Cosmo.
So, and that's what we do. It's a small little thing, and someday he'll be a plush. Someday
Yeah.
hewill be a plush, and that's
Okay,
all
I
we
need
sell
the
is plush.
first one. Okay.
All right, you get the first one, but
All
I'll
right.
take the second one. But you want
There you go.
the first
so,
one.
I'm gonna call it out in faith and reselling. Let's talk about it. How do you guys feel? Faithfulness important in reselling? You know, is that something that's a core tenet of your belief system in reselling, or is it something that within your own power you're doing?
Yeah, I mean, I think for us, I mean, spiritually too, with the faithfulness, yeah, it's where we're grounded.
Mhm.
Fun fact, we always tell the story of like, I grew up with her family. We've known each other our whole lives. So it's because her uncle was my pastor growing up. So that was really a good connection. So I really think the faith in there has been able to instill a lot of the good morals and what we
Yes.
go by. So it's just something we live every day in that.
Through
So
and through. Yep.
absolutely.
I'll tell you what, it's shining through. I'm a pretty good judge of character right away. It's one of the things that are like my superpower. I can feel it coming through with their messaging as you're introducing yourself and you're talking about your business. You're speaking of integrity, all the things, core tenets, and the faithfulness. I feel it shining, pouring through. So I think a lot of what you're seeing in your success is a radiation of that. So congratulations on all your success. I want a premier shop. What did that look like? Let's talk about that.
Gosh.
That was crazy.
That's a climb, I would think, right?
Yeah, I mean, so you have to hit the qualifications is 50,000 in 3 months. You have to maintain at least 95% on time. It used to be like on-time shipment, but now it's like scan rate within the app, and then 99%, problem-free as far as no canceling orders on the back end before you ship them, and that they arrive, intact and what you said they were. So honestly, it came around over a year ago, and that was something I don't think we ever thought we would be at. Like we've always set small goals where we want to be. I don't think we've ever sat down and set these like huge goals out, like where we're going to think about this, because we're so busy. It's like, when can we have time just to sit down and talk about these things? But it was something that when it happened, it was like the coolest feeling in the world to get that email, on the first of the month, you're now a premier shop. And like looking back, and now every time on the first of the month, we still get that email like you're a premier shop. And it's something we pride ourselves on, because that goes hand in hand with everything else we're saying. Like, no matter where we are as far as number of people, money, anything like that, if we're not taking care of the clients, our customers, whatever word you want to use for them, then we're doing wrong. So I really think more than the money aspect of it, it's like, are you getting the items out quickly to them? Are you delivering what you're saying? Are you giving them the right product, everything like that? And that's just kind of makes you feel good inside when you get, recognized for it.
And we're just having fun. We're not like focused on this badge. Like the wings at the end of the day are just wings. Like they don't bring a staff and team into your house to help you, work hard. Like, we appreciate it, but it's like, we want to make sure we always love what we do. We don't want to, they always say, you'll never work a day in your life if you just truly love what you do. So that's how we feel about this.
Yeah, Ruth Ann feels the same way too.
I
She said it
do.
multiple times about her passion
do.
for reselling.
Yeah.
So
It's like, I'm at the age where I probably could tickle with the idea of retiring, but I'm like, why would I do that? Why would I do that? I just love it. And I have a hard time wanting to do anything else that somebody else thinks is fun, because
Yep.
this is fun. This is my fun.
What do you do for fun? Go to the thrift store.
Yeah, our family actually, her brother was like, "You guys need to take a day off." Sometimes we're on. We're like, our day off is going sourcing. Like, that's fun. It's a treasure hunt. Like, what are we gonna find? Like, that's exciting. Like, I don't want to be bored just sitting at the house, and we're not like theme park people or anything like that. So it's like, I want to go and find treasure. Like, what estates out there? What antique malls open? Where can I go? Like,
exactly.
So it's a burning passion that's fun for us.
And FOMO is a real thing. If you're sitting on your couch, what can you think about besides what you're missing out there?
Absolutely.
I think people don't tend to realize, like, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take and all that other stuff. We've heard those. Yeah, we've always heard those sayings and stuff like that. But it's true. They're like, how do you find this great stuff? You put yourself in front of it every day. Mm-hmm. Some days you're walking out with nothing. And I think that's where things get skewed for a lot of people that are new to reselling. They'll walk in and be like, man, I didn't find anything. What the hell is, or what's going on? And I think what it is you're always seeing on social media someone scores because that's what sells, but they're not seeing the reality of the realism of it, where you're walking in and walking out sometimes with nothing. So 1,000 stores later, you find your B box. I don't know anything about vintage. I'm just guessing.
Good job. You just got 10
the right words.
What is that?
10 on Nest, now B box. Let's go.
Fairy lamp.
B box.
I mean, fairy lamp.
I know a fairy lamp. Hey, I know that one.
I'm learning.
Plus, I think the broader your knowledge, the less your chance. The broader your knowledge of different categories, the less your chances that you're coming out with nothing. Because,
How do you guys find so much vintage? I know Sarasota, you said you're, in that area, and there's a lot of snowbirds and people that are retiring in that area. Gulf Coast Pickers is a great friend of ours. They're in that actual area as well. They mostly sell plush and vintage T-shirts, but what's the scene like in Sarasota? And obviously, it must be good.
Behind House of Coop. No, the first.
We actually created all in the garage. That's what I'm not even shipping. I'm making
it's not true.
Yeah, we definitely pride ourselves on the fact that we are the main sourcers, if you will, that curate all of our shows. And the first year when, as we were building, we strictly thrifted and went to estate sales. And as we grew and we needed more inventory, we're at the point where we're selling anywhere between 300 to 400 items per show. And that's twice a week. Yeah. Jinx, you want me a soda? And so now, now we are primarily sourcing from antique malls where we can go in. Everybody thinks that you can't find deals in antique malls. That's not the truth. We find deals every single day, but we love that we can support small businesses, which are these vintage booth owners. And yeah, we travel up to 2-3 hours from our place in Florida in every direction. And we go to all of those places about once a month and just keep it on rotation. But I mean, it takes up a lot of time to source. It's not something, that's why we like showing on social media. We are not gatekeepers of where we source. We love supporting local businesses. We've made so many connections. And that's part of the business too, is networking, finding out when deals are happening, creating relationships with estate sale companies.
Yeah, we've done some private picks because of the estate sale companies, just creating a relationship. And it's as simple as just handing the business card and saying, hey, we buy in bulk. So if you ever have a sale that's too crazy, we'd love an opportunity. And it's created conversations, created phone calls. We have someone that reached out to us. We went and did a private pick, and now they need to clear the whole estate. So that's a new for us, and we're looking into that. It's like just the next thing that's kind of unfolding. You never know what's going to take place. And social media as well. We've had tons of people reach out and just say, hey, I'm done reselling, or my grandma had this collection. Are you guys interested in buying it? And it's all just because we posted. We don't know these people from Adam, and it's just because we posted, that's opportunities. And it's just, like you said, you got to get out there in front of people. It's the same thing. You got to get off the couch and find it. It's that goes hand in hand. If you're not saying anything or letting people know what you're doing yourself a disservice.
And at first I personally was hesitant telling people we were resellers. that's a big thing for resellers. Like, do I tell them? But the answer is always going to be yes. Like, people want to know who's willing to help. So
yeah, I always say resellers need to resell as well. Like there's a lot of them that are looking to get rid of, like, I might have my 3 or 4 items that I'm keeping to list wherever, but the rest of this I don't want, or I don't need, I need to offload or whatever. So here, let me get it out.
Tell everyone.
You never know.
Yeah.
So this is actually pretty timely because Four Seasons Picker, you just came across a treasure trove of glass, vintage glass, right?
Yep.
How did you make that connection? So this is kind of like in line with that.
Well, every month I'm on the Climb the Whatnot ladder train, and I think you guys are too, aren't you?
You guys? Gumby Man's asked us a lot. We love Gumby Man, but yeah, we know that train, yeah.
So last month I was running out of vintage glass, and I thought I put it out to God, and I just said, I need a good source. And I thought I was thinking small. Okay, I just need some place I can source, and I answered an ad on Marketplace. They had 5 vintage pieces of glass on the thing, and in fine print it said, "There's more like this." So I answered the ad. Turns out there were 1,500 pieces.
Wow.
So it's the biggest. I've been reselling since 2007. It's the biggest pick I've ever. It took me 8 days with 2 people helping me to get 1,500 pieces of glass. I spent $500 in Costco tubs because it was hard. It was hard to pack glass.
Oh, 100%, yes.
And
Jacob's like, I know.
So it was the biggest pick of my life, but I got a lot of glass now.
Yeah.
So, but you gotta put your name out there. I mean, I answered that pick and I just said, I might be interested in all your glass. And then their eyes just get like this. What?
Yeah.
What? Yes, I might be interested in all of it.
You just never know. That's why you need to be intentional when you're out and about, and get a business card, even if it's just your phone number stamped on there. And if you're weird about giving your phone number out, get a Google number, stamp that on a card, and have it forwarded to your phone. Whatever it takes to get your name out there and make those connections. And when you see something, when you're at a yard sale and they don't have what you're looking for, say, hey, listen, I'm a reseller. I'm interested in these items. If you have anything, 9 times out of 10, I guarantee that they're going to either have it or they're going to know someone that has it and they're going to call you.
Yeah.
Yep. That's how it happens.
Network.
And there's going to be times where people are like, you're a reseller and that stigma and all that other stuff, but just wash that off. It's okay. It's not our fault. It's just part of it. So
100%.
I mean, if you're having a garage sale, you're a reseller.
Yeah, right.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, if we want to get technical, everyone's a reseller. Walmart, Target, all of them are resellers. So,
we mortgage our time for our income. So everybody's a reseller when you really get to the root of what we're doing here.
Yep.
It's just a matter of how we mortgage that time.
And thank goodness, because it's all part of the commerce.
Right.
Yeah. And we're saving. I mean, we're doing vintage. I mean, we're kind of like the last line of defense for a lot of these items before it's the landfill, So it's not like we're trying to resell these brand new items and things like that. Not that there's anything wrong with any of that, but it's like with what we're doing, it's like the last line of defense, because if they don't sell it at Goodwill or at the estate sale, 9 times out of 10, they're just doing a bulk, throw it away and, smash it before.
Breaks my heart.
So no one can go around the back and take it out of the dumpster, so that's the reality of it.
That's so very sad to think about, but here we go.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Let's take a look. Let's make it bigger because I know there's a lot of.
I'm thinking I got 200 pieces of Murano at least.
What's your starting bid? Let's go run it.
Auction it right here. What is that called? Like, is that like
this is Italian Murano?
That's fabulous.
Very collectible glass.
Awesome.
Yeah,
wow, that's beautiful.
But most of it was Sooner, Marigold, Murano. It was all art glass. Almost, there was about 200 pieces of Fenton, but almost 85% of it was art glass.
Wow.
So awesome. Make sure to post that on social media.
So now at my age, I just have to live long enough to sell it all.
Oh, stop it.
Well, have you heard about the House of Coop? I'm just wondering.
We do bulk buys.
Yeah, right.
Our number is.
Yeah, right. Instant message right after.
So cool.
But that's why I wanted to have Ruth Ann on the not even this was even before she found this treasure trove of glass,
Yeah.
because you guys are very similar, and also Ashley couldn't make the podcast today, so we wanted to make sure that we gave your business the attention that it needed and deserves on this podcast, because we're again true believers of that. So part of Ruth Ann's core tenets and beliefs and all the things with her business align with your business as well. So that's part of the reason why it's all intentional, or at least that's what I was thinking when I had the idea to have everybody together here. And we can't thank you enough for being a part of this for sure. So it's incredible watching your all's journey. It really is.
First podcast opportunity for us. So, and one thing is, even like with our messages on Whatnot and social media, we always say, we're going to reply back within one business day. Like, we always want to be available for people. Like, we're not on some pedestal just because of any success we've had. I mean, ultimately that could go away tomorrow, rightfully so, but who we are never will. So it's like, when an opportunity and we can make it happen, we're always going to. So we're just thankful to have this opportunity to be here. So
and it's great meeting people in other categories. That's one of our favorite things, especially not just on Whatnot. That's why we're so big on social media. We want to know everybody and learn from everybody. So it's a great group of people.
That's another benefit of this podcast, Ellie. What do you think? Like, we've interviewed a lot of people. Man, we've anything from just beginning to $1 million resellers. Like, we've interviewed the gamut in the short, like, first season. Season 1's just about over. We're starting season 2 in June. It's just like, isn't it mind-boggling, Ellie?
It makes me feel like an imposter.
Sometimes, I mean,
welcome to the club.
Listen, I am a small, minuscule reseller standing next to most of the people that we've interviewed. It's one of my favorite parts of the week, though, to really sit here and listen to how people have gained this success, the joy that it brings them, the freedom that it brings them, and just, it's really an inspiration, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if it's an inspiration to me, I hope that that's true for anybody watching, right? Because we've seen resellers from my level all the way up to, like Bob said, $1 million sellers, selling in clothes, selling in toys,
million plus,
selling in all the different categories. So it's really amazing. I enjoy what we're doing here. So, and I owe that to Bob. Bob's the genius behind all of this. So.
I don't know about genius. That's I appreciate you saying that, but I think what it was, and this is just another thing that sometimes God shines through us. Just to be able to create the community is what I was really after, and by doing so, it gave a space to be able to have folks like House of Coop on. So whenever I see someone like y'all and Whatnot, just churning and just burning through and just interacting with the community and doing all those things, I'm just like, wow, what a breath of fresh air. Like, that is so, like, for me, that is just what I go to Whatnot for. I paused my Whatnot because I got burnt out. I'll be honest, y'all. I did. I paused it. I have 8,000 sold, 5 stars, all the things, unlocked, all the treasures of Whatnot, and I put it on pause because I was just like, I'm not sure if this is for me. So I'll be quite honest. That's my story, and that's where I am right now. Will I make a comeback? Maybe I will.
Something you say about fear?
Yeah, fear's a liar.
Do it
really
scared,
is.
Okay? Do it scared.
Let's
talk about
so much fear as it is so much like the sheer exhaustion of the consistency.
It's a
You're
lot.
doing an enormous juggle. You're doing an enormous juggle, though, Bob.
Yeah,
Full-time job. Trying to juggle Whatnot. You're kind of a techno wizard. You're doing all the podcasts, and
I love that.
And you're helping,
call me at work.
people like me. So you're really juggling a lot of balls, and so it's easy to get burnt out.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, when we were working full-time jobs, I mean, shipping is tough with vintage, and there was a lot of times I was up till 2 o'clock in the morning shipping a show and waking up at 6 o'clock, to get to work, so it's like, I'm sure you're feeling, part of that too. And, Whatnot, you have to put 100% when you're on there. And so if you're not in the right mental space or have the energy, the crowd, you know, your viewers can feel it right away and they're going to go to the next show. And that's just the reality of it. So,
and it's okay to take a break too. We did that as well when we first started, and we were like, hold on, this is kind of a lot all at once. We took a break for like 3 months just to figure our own setup out and figure out the app more. And that's okay to do that. And then when you come back and you're serious about it, you'll know exactly what you need to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of comments in the chat about you getting back what you put into it, and it's very intentional. Reselling is that way in general. It doesn't matter what platform you sell on. That's what's great about being your own person and being your own business and believing in your own dreams instead of working for someone else, right? Because as much as you put in is as much as you get out of it. So if you are going to outwork everybody, right, the sky's the limit. We just had Cougar's Corner on, and they are absolutely killing in clothing right now. They're actually they're just crushing it, right? And what the thing is they're created a volume eBay store, right? They're tracking $500,000 in sales this year potentially. Wow. And they're getting exactly what they're putting into it, out of it. And it sounds like you guys are too. You're getting exactly out. Now, how do you, the mindset whatnot is what I struggle with. So the next question kind of lends to this. How are you okay with, and I know that sometimes things get auctioned up for you guys, but in the beginning, you're not getting exactly everything out of this dollar wise, right? That's the thing with whatnot. There's a potential that when you start something at $1 or $3 or whatever it is, you potentially are leaving money on the table. How do you get to that mindset where you're okay to do that? That's a tough one.
Well, first, the classic rule for reselling is you make your money when you buy something. So, we had to make the conscious effort to make sure that we're buying everything low enough that if it sold for what we started at, we're okay with it. And I think the bigger thing is a lot of people get lost into that potential profit instead of actual profit. So I can think about if it sells on another site for eBay or whatever for $50, then that's my, potential profit. But if I can sell it fast on Whatnot and get $30 out of it, that's, actual profit. If I have $10 into it, I have $20 instead of another potential $20. And you just never focus on that potential. It's a fast nickel over a slow dime. That's what Whatnot is. And it's just, we didn't always make money on stuff. We really weren't even profitable for the first full year of being serious about Whatnot, not even the first full year. So until about 1.5 years into our Whatnot journey, were we profitable? There's a lot of shows that people weren't in, where we had 10 people and you start something at $5 and it sells for $5. It's like, we're trying to get $12 for an item that should be $40, but it's like, we just knew we had to be consistent, run stuff, at a low enough price that people knew they could come in and get a deal, and they still can. Like people say something like, I can't get anything for a deal. And it's like, we just had to show.
Last night we sold something for $1 to our sweet friend.
We sold something for $1, and then there was another piece that someone was like, "That's not this brand," and I looked it up right away, and it sold for $25. And on every other site, sold comps was like $50, $60. So it's like there's definitely deals to be had anywhere you go. We can go into big shows and still get stuff for deals, or even on other sites, things like that. So it's like you just, like you said, you kind of learn it. It's it's a skill that develop. You start knowing what to buy and when, and how to get the deal on it. But it wasn't always easy, and it's something we just kind of forgot about, like that potential profit.
And we didn't start doing dollar starts until we were about 16 months in on the app. We get messages every day from people, and they're like, I'm not making any money. There's nobody in my shows, and it's only my second show. What do I do? And it's like, give yourself some grace and some time to learn it. And it's not going to happen overnight. This is a slow and steady build, really, on any platform.
And just to speak on that, and I'm going to let her finish. Sorry for cutting you off. Our first show, we only had 4 people in, which was her family and then my coworker. We sold 4 items, I think it was, or 3 items, and we made $6.71. So
in our second show, we made negative 77 cents because we got really excited about those giveaways. Okay. So it's a slow and steady race, and we love sharing our journey on our Instagram. We have posted We don't share money now. It's not something that we want to focus on as a business, but our first year, we have every single summary of every show we did for our first year on Whatnot posted on our Instagram to show people truly what a first year looks like. And when people come to us and they're feeling discouraged, we say, if you're serious about it, hold out for a year and then talk to us and see if you're feeling the same way. You need to be consistent for a year to build your brand. So.
Well, that's the second time I've heard this in 6 months. We had Cam Life. I don't know if you guys follow Cam Life on Whatnot. He's the $1 million seller we were talking about. He's a clothing seller on Whatnot. And same thing. He said, so show up for a year and I'll tell you what the problem is. It might be your items that you're selling, basically, is the messaging there.
Yeah.
So
feeling after a year, it's your product. I think
it's your product, basically, is what he was saying. And again, he has no, like, I don't want to say passion for. He has a passion for entrepreneurship and the business side, but the clothing, he's not emotionally attached to it. I could see how you could become emotionally attached to an item, and then allow that to skew your perspective or whatever. So with vintage, especially, I could definitely see how that would be like. And this is like that swanch you just sold. Man, that thing's so beautiful. Like, how do you just like enjoy this? I want to enjoy it, but I guess accept that, right? And then keep moving to something more beautiful.
Well, in the vintage category too, we're not hoarders, we're collectors. So we have an extensive collection ourselves. So I'm just speaking. But we have extensive.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Like Ashley said, we're in her collection room. If we did a 360 in this room right now, you'd be amazed.
What are you talking about?
So we have plenty on our side where it's like when we bring these items, we truly love these items, but it's at the same time like, we don't have anywhere to put it. Like, we couldn't keep this, so it's better like get this out quick. Like, we want to, we need to clear. We always have more inventory coming in, so we need to clear it quick. I don't care what it sells for, just take it. It's that deal. So,
but in vintage, I think it's important that people don't say it, and there's always a way to present it. And there's also an entertainment side of things. But we just spoke at the Whatnot Seller Summit, the first ever conference that they had, and we got to meet so many different big high level, different category sellers. It was so awesome. And just every category works totally differently. What works for clothing does not work for vintage and storage units and things like that. So it's really good to make sure you're getting inspiration from your category as well to see what works. That's why I love these talks like this, just to see what's going on your end, and then hosting seller support shows so we can all encourage each other and learn just what works from experience. There's no, if there was a book of success, we would all be reading it. We'd all be doing it right. But everyone has a different path. So.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
Bob, you mentioned something about Caleb and how he's scaled, right? The reason he's $1 million seller is that he's scaled and has people who run his shows. Now, I know you guys mentioned that you have a paid mod. Is scaling in that way something that might come in the future for you, or what does the future look like for House of Coop?
I would love to hire someone right now to be our shipper. That would be the number one
shipper.
thing.
You trust somebody to ship your glass. That's
part of it. And we also do everything. We also do everything out of our house. So it's like to have someone random, in our garage and access to our whole house. It's just a weird feeling.
It was very sweet. Someone came up and met us at the conference. I believe she was in clothes, and she's like, House of Coop, I'm really still trying to build my business. I now have, 9 people on our team, and I'm just still juggling to keep up with things. She's like, how many people do you have in your shipping department? I'm like, you're looking at it. This is, so we definitely have big goals for us, but right now we're pushing our limits and hustling of what we can do in house. And we're a very well-oiled machine. We love showing people how we stay organized and things like that, but you have to be, so it doesn't take over your personal life. Having that good work-life balance is literally everything. So, and we started that from the very beginning in our 600 square foot apartment where we started. So yeah, just having good practices, but just us for now, but hopefully, definitely one day we'd love to have, who knows, you'll see maybe House of Coop,
brick and mortar,
and you can come shop, and who knows,
like Hearth and Ham and Hand or whatever it's called. Oh,
Chip and Joanna Gaines. I know.
Let's call it out by faith.
It's
That's
our
gonna
aunt and
happen.
uncle, you know.
That's
Yeah, right. I
I
mean,
actually had
I
a
would.
lot of people recently say that, and it's like a surreal thing. Once again, go back to that word, like because we
Yeah.
even have when we were in the magazine, people were like autograph it and then auction it off, and it's like no, like we're just too normal. Like I don't, and we don't see ourselves that way. Like that's just a super weird thing. But then you have people who are like, I even saw it in the chat earlier, like you need a HGTV show, and it's like that's just so crazy for us. And if something like that ever happened, you know, it'd be awesome to be a part of. But for us, we just enjoy the everyday. We enjoy we're best friends, so we get to work together every single day, and not every spouse gets to do that. We did the math, and that on average, you know, married couples spend about 52 hours a week together. And that's how much time, you know, not including
Working
if they're
full-time
taking
jobs.
care of kids and that time, anything like that could even go lower, you know. So it's like 52 hours to spend with it, where we get 24/7, you know, to kind of spend together and hang out. So,
And not everybody can do that.
yeah. So
Let's talk about how you manage it then, because that's important context. We just had Cougar's Corner on, and they kind of told us how they're doing it. Let's talk about how you guys are doing that, because it's a lot being with the person you love all the time. My wife is glad I'm a software engineer, by the way, and I leave.
Okay. Yeah, our next thing we're gonna open a marriage counseling. No, but
I'll let her teach it.
Our moms are watching. This is great. I'm sure they're laughing. No, honestly, you know, we've had several conversations, but again, since this was a slow and steady build and things like that, when he does shipping, he's in his zone, and I'm getting our inventory ready and I'm doing the shelves. We have our own spaces. Essentially, we're not like down each other's throats. But I mean, honestly, we're very blessed that we get along outside of work, you know, as well as we do. We truly are best friends. So again, not everybody would choose this path, but since we were doing so well before working together, and now we're like, okay, we both are going to have our responsibilities. We fully trust that what's on my plate, what's on his plate is working. And then those times we still have that good work-life balance when we're with our family, our phones are down, when we're at the dinner table, we're not always talking about whatnot. You got to shut it off and make time for each other. That's super important. And making sure that your business doesn't overtake your home. So we're very intentional about that as well.
Yeah, and I think, like she said, even though, you know, marriage we're one, there's still individuality, and it's like feeling that sense of accomplishment. So us both having our task to do, like, so we can take pride and the other person can see what they've done as well. So it's a way to like, hey, look, you know, I don't have to necessarily go, hey, I packed 300, you know, boxes today, but it's like, man, I did that. And then, you know, she looks, she's like, wow, you did that. And I come out and she's got the shelves, you know, looking immaculate. And I'm like, wow, this looks great. You know, it just kind of builds each other up naturally, just doing those things that, you know, we have a passion for anyway. So it helps balance it out, just having that individuality. Big word for me.
Ooh.
That's great to hear. And I think that's kind of the same thing Cougar's Corner said too, Ellie, is I believe, right? They had their own individual work areas. They had their shared responsibilities, and then they had their own responsibilities. Correct. And then at the end of the day, they just lock the door on their shed and just kind of walk away from it.
Yeah.
Essentially, it's kind of the same messaging I'm hearing. So that's really important. It sounds like it's the key maybe to, if I hear it one more time, then it's a pattern.
Yeah. I can repeat it.
There's got to be somebody different. Sorry, that's not how it works.
Come on, 4 seasons. Let's go.
I'm a lone wolf. So
she's killing it and whatnot. Yeah,
I think I would love to have a partner that, you know, I just, when I hear you talk about that and how you can go in and you see what she's done on the shelves and you're able to compliment her on that, and I'm just thinking, oh my gosh, what would that be like that somebody was getting something done while you're doing this?
Yeah.
Because when you're a lone wolf, you end up with piles because you can't get it all done, and you just have to make peace with your mess because you can't. There's nothing you can do about it. It's about keeping the momentum going and being with your people and maintaining your brand, and you just have to shut the door on the shop and go in and eat popcorn and, you know.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect for progress. Ellie says this all the time, you know, so
no,
it really doesn't. But I will say that your aesthetic, your eye for vintage and the perfection that looks like in the photograph, let me just say kudos to you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, House of Coop, you're doing it well, so well, and so well that I want you to call out someone on this episode of Reseller Podcast. Who do you want to see on Launchpad Reseller Podcast, House of Coop?
Ooh,
I already have one person.
go ahead.
I would say Rocky Top Relics.
Yeah.
So Rocky Top Relics, they are definitely newer on the app, but they have so much passion for what they do, and they've had a big background on other platforms before the app,
On eBay.
but things are picking up so fast for them that they just, I don't know if this is public information, but I'm just going to say it because I love them and they'll forgive me later. They just acquired a whole antique shop that's just filled.
Antique mall, yeah.
Antique mall that's like 4 stories just packed. And so, it's Kenny and Brandy. Brandy just quit her full-time job. So, it's so cool seeing people who are passionate about it and they just try something new, and just like these massive life changes are happening. And they're just so pumped. So I think they would be fabulous to talk to on the newer side with how rapid things are changing for them. It would be a great perspective.
And they're kind of in that zone that we love, which is that growth. I think a lot of people forget how fun that part is. Like when you're growing and you're learning, every show is something different. You're learning, and it's not like something where you're trying like, oh, I've done that or anything. Like they're in that real fun part of like, we're trying to figure out how we're going to do 5 shows this week. How do we keep up here? What do we do? And just, it's really cool to see.
And Brandy still is getting comfortable being on camera, which is a big part of reselling on Whatnot, being live.
Streaming,
For the first 6 months, we did not show our face selling.
Yeah.
And that's a big question that we get. Not everybody has to sell showing their face, but we try to really explain to people that once you do, you're going to get a totally different connection with your viewers. So, but it's been really cool to cheer them on and support them. So Rocky Top Relics.
Rocky Top Relics, you've been called out on Launchpad Reseller Podcast. What do you say? We'd love to have you on.
Wait, I hear them say yes.
They're
They're in Tennessee, by the way.
I'll FaceTime them right now.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, I mean, we can go up there from where we are. No, I'm just kidding.
I love that.
So, Florida, Ashley's from Georgia. I'm from I'm not from Alabama, but I live in Alabama. Tennessee Treasures, obviously where she is Tennessee. In Ruth Ann, Minnesota. My wife will actually be in Minnesota on Wednesday, so she's going to be up in that area. So visiting
This
another
Wednesday?
Whatnot.
This Wednesday?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, she's coming earlier than she said she was coming.
Yeah, she is.
Okay.
So, yep, she's coming up. Be careful.
the
There's a
100
storm
mile.
coming.
I
So
wonder
if you guys don't know,
the
she's the
100 mile.
yeah.
Are they going to the 100 mile at all?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
I think you guys are starting in the same town. So reach out to Amanda about that.
Okay,
But-
I will.
She is actually the powerhouse behind City Reseller. I do the social media stuff and a lot of that, and I do logistics like Jacob. So she does a lot of the packing, but I do a lot of the pulling of orders and other things. So I can definitely appreciate where you guys are coming from in regards to shared responsibilities. She does the bear share, though, I will say. So without her, I'm not sure we would be in the position we are regarding her business. That's what I like to think of it as her business. So I've been giving a lot of that back to her as ownership of that. And I think it's working well. I'm no longer the CFO of this. She's the CEO and CFO. I'm just marketing.
Oh,
It's kind of nice.
That's really good too.
Yeah, exactly. She's killing it on eBay, Whatnot. She's on Whatnot as well. Fiona's Finds. If you guys aren't following, she sells plush, Fisher Price Little People, things of that nature, durables. She's really in the toy scene, like Tennessee Treasures toy scene as well. Ruth Ann on the vintage scene, and she also does plush and toys. So it's nice to be able to talk to like-minded people through the Whatnot app. And I've met a lot of great people.
Yeah.
Who would you say is your favorite Whatnot person I know I won't put you on the spot.
Oh, God.
It's like picking a favorite child, right? Who's
I
your
can say-
favorite person?
I can say personally,
To watch?
I have 2 favorites
Is
that
it to watch?
that I love to watch.
Okay.
One is We Auction Florida. If you've never watched We Auction Florida, he's in the storage unit category. He is. He's just it's just entertainment the whole time.
Logan.
And he has great products and he knows what he's doing. but you're gonna laugh the whole time. And I have a little bit of troll in me, and he's like a live troll, so it's just really fun to do. But one person that I love to watch, and I've watched all of their social media before even Whatnot, is Bearded Thrifter. I love Bearded Thrifter. That's one of my idols there, you know, in the reselling. So I love watching his shows. Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, I mean, you're not the first beard that we've ever had on the show. We've had a few now, but definitely epic for sure. So what about you, Ashley?
You know, I'm more, so he has like these dedicated shows that he watches, especially because he's shipping. For me, again, my part of the business is I'm always trying to just pop into different people's shows, just show support when we're not selling. So I can't say I watch anybody consistently, but I'm everywhere all the time. We always have our colors of House of Coop, green and purple. So he's the green hearts, I'm doing the purple hearts. So people never know who's watching when we're in there. But I float around so much. So, but I think my main person, if I had to shout out somebody, Meg's Elizabeth, and the Curated Cameo. So the Curated Cameo is our mod, Cameron. She's in the chat right now. She does pop-up shows. She's fantastic. She's been getting into ephemera a lot, which is like vintage paper. And then Meg's Elizabeth is another awesome vintage seller as well. So I gotta shout out my girls.
And we love 70s flower power, like Groovy. That's, you know, MCM, that's our vibe. So any show like that, doesn't matter who's selling it, Ashley will be in there. And,
I'm in there. I'm pre-bidding, and there's no friends in auctions.
And I'll be watching our the whole time I'll be watching our bank account when she's in those shows. So that's how it goes. And I got one more shout out. My mom actually sells on Whatnot as well. She does kids boutique clothing. So Harper's Closet. Shout out to my mom. So
shout out Mom Harper's Closet. Y'all go follow and bookmark her shows, and let's just show some love through the community for Jacob's mom, who is a big part of why he's here.
Some might say 50% of the reason.
Yeah, at least 50%. Speaking of support, Jacob, Ashley, can you believe that 90% of the people that watch this podcast do not subscribe to the channel? Can you believe that?
What are you doing? Where are you guys not subscribing?
I don't know what is going
We're
on.
subscribed. What are you waiting for?
If you haven't subscribed and liked to this channel, make sure you do that, because it definitely helps us bring kind, generous, actionable resellers to the community so that you guys can enjoy the content. So make sure you're subscribing and liking, following along the way. And one more thing about Whatnot that you might not know, Nifty.ai for your cross-listing needs. They're the sponsor of this podcast. And they just recently integrated with Whatnot. So if you're a Whatnot seller and you want to use Nifty.ai to get your business tripled over the course of this next year, because it's done that for us, make sure you're checking out Nifty.ai. Code Rocket City will save you 15% off your first month. Appreciate you guys letting me do that.
Nifty's changed my business.
It's changing the game.
We sell completely on Whatnot, but we still watch a lot of resellers, and a lot of them use the Nifty. And now that it's integrated, they're pulling orders every single day. From Whatnot Marketplace. That we're typically selling on eBay and things like that. So yeah, if you're not cross-listing, you're doing yourself a disservice. If you're listing actively on other sites, you need to. So
I will say, I am going to plug, we do sell on Whatnot, but we do also have a vintage booth in Ellington, Florida at the Feed Antique and Collectibles Mall. Hey. So people are slowly finding out that we do have a physical place that you can go and check things out. So I got to plug our feed store. They're awesome.
And there you go. That's the start to the brick and mortar.
I know, right? No, they're an awesome antique mall. It's our main sourcing place, but it's literally 15 minutes from us. And so we've met so many people who have stopped there. So it's great. We're going to hopefully have a Whatnot meetup of our own at that mall in the next couple months. So it's something in the works.
And then it'll actually be more like a House of Coop meetup more than a Whatnot meetup. So it'll just be like our community more than just like a Whatnot thing. So it'll be cool to do.
Yes.
Well, you've heard it here first on Launchpad Reseller Podcast. That'd be awesome to be a part of that. We do travel thrift a lot. I don't know how you guys feel about travel thrifting. Sounds like if you were to leave the great state of Florida, that you'd be not opposed to doing a little thrifting along the way. Where's the furthest place you've ever thrifted?
I just did. Sorry, you want to go ahead?
We did a live estate, and that's actually how we met, a live estate sale, how we met our mod. So we drove to Tennessee, actually Memphis area. and did an estate there. We did an estate in South Carolina
and
Virginia. So we've traveled, and she just went on a trip with her mom. They drove all the way up 95 from Florida and stopped all along the way, all the way up to Virginia. We'll go anywhere.
I'll tag all the antique malls as we're driving, and we'll meet people along in that area along the way and give a good shout out to the antique malls. We typically get to meet the owner, and it's just a great time. So then we pack the cars so Tetris-like, where we come back with as much as possible. And we
pick up again, I'm sure.
Yeah. And I bought a truck with an 8-foot bed on purpose, and I don't think an 8-foot bed even does it service.
Space.
We need more.
A cargo van.
Y'all need a trailer.
You can always get a trailer along the way.
I know. Then I put that responsibility of driving a trailer, and then I got to remember, when I'm backing up this way means this way, and it's like.
Yeah.
But our anniversary is actually at the end of this month, and we're like planning where we're going to go, and we're planning it around of how we can shop while we're there. So if that speaks any volume to us, right?
Bob,
congratulations!
Your anniversary, yeah, congrats. That's amazing.
Yeah, that is, how many years?
4 years.
4 years. But fun fact, someone said it in the chat, but we've known each other our entire life. Like you said before, Jacob's mom was at my mom's baby shower for me. I have a picture of my mom pregnant with me. His mom was 2 seats down. So, and I always say I married my best friend's brother. So we've always had a crush on each other.
Oh, that's awesome that you guys knew
Probably
each
why
other.
we get along so well.
That's cool.
That could be very well be friends first always.
Yeah.
It's a good start. Man, that's insane. So Ellie had a question. I rudely interrupted her. Sorry, Ellie. What was your question?
Bob, I forgot.
Sounds like me to
I have ADHD.
I'm like,
Listen.
That's what's the problem. Me too. Is we both have it. And then we're like, what did we say? I don't know. It just kind of rolled.
I think I gave Ashley ADHD because for me, like I have to do 2 things at once, and now but before she could remember stuff, and now I'm like, no, just finish. I'm sorry, I had to sing that song because you said that word. Like it reminded me, and she's like, I forgot it now. And
I remember. I was going to ask, what did you do for your anniversary, your last anniversary, Bob?
Oh yeah, we thrifted it too. We went to like 5 different states in 5 days, or 7 states in 5 days.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So yeah, it was a thrift anniversary or whatever.
Wait, I like that. I like that.
Anniversary, yes.
That's a good one.
Hashtag Rocket City.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well. All of our children are going to be running off. We're going to be empty nesters soon. We were foster parents for a lot of years. So that chapter is about closed as well. Our youngest is off to the University of Alabama in the fall. So yeah, we're looking to do a lot more probably of that, thrifting and doing all the things. So yeah, we'll see what's next for Rocket City.
Better than a road trip thrift.
Now, Ruth Ann knows about traveling distances for thrifting. Yeah. Ruth Ann, what's the longest you've ever traveled?
From Minnesota to thrift?
Yep.
Minnesota to Alabama.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's gold right there.
And there's nothing like going to a place for the first time either. We always say like they haven't seen House of Coop yet when we walk in here because we're gonna do some damage.
I don't know if you've ever been to Alabama, but our area has a lot of vintage, I guess, shops.
We got cousins in Alabama. I don't remember where they're at, but
they keep inviting us, and they said, "Come on, you can come on over. We have a room for you, and you can go shopping. We don't care the whole time you're here." So we're like, we got to plan that trip too.
We'll be there in 5 minutes.
There's a couple of shops that Ashley wants to go to in the Panhandle anyway, so it's just along the way there.
I want to go.
My wife has a booth. Yeah, my wife has a booth at Top Key Market in Huntsville, Alabama. So yeah, it's a lot of vintage. I actually have photographs I put on my Facebook of all the vintage glass that was in this place. Just beautiful, 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 beautiful.
I love it.
All right, we're driving there now.
I love it too.
We could be there by the morning.
The prices are good enough. They're usually full retail prices, but the absolute I can appreciate a nice piece of glass for sure. Ever since I had Junk Monkey Treasures on, he's like benchmark jeweler. He's like he can actually mine the ore, take it to process, create the jewelry, do all the things. He has all the information about minerals and ore and all that stuff. He understands everything that glass is made of, how the process is made, where it's made. So if you guys aren't tracking Junk Monkey Treasures on Facebook, make sure you follow him. He has a YouTube channel as well. and you'll learn a lot about vintage glass for sure from him. He's an absolute master craft at it. So, yeah,
I'll have to
definitely.
check them out for sure.
So cool.
Yeah. Wow. I can't believe House of Coop is here, y'all.
I know.
It's surreal.
We're
Surreal.
regular schmegular people who love vintage and things like y'all do. So this has been so much fun.
And we
Yeah,
love chatting. In the beginning, you mentioned community, and I think a lot of the
Yeah.
times it gets lost on like community of just like your brand, but like the resellers, no matter what you're reselling, like it's a community. And when just like you said, your reason for starting this podcast, like if you can help inspire, and even Ellie, like you said, like I feel like nothing compared. It's like how much we still learn from anybody, like you're still learning every day. No one knows everything, and there's always a bigger fish out there. So it's like, it just, we always say comparison's the thief of joy. So it's like finding solace and
That's
finding
3 episodes in a row that came up.
Yeah.
Oh, that means it's a fact. That was 3.
The rule of 3. That's how it works, Ashley.
But you can always learn, and you can always, there's always something about just even that friendship and just that community bringing back together. Because, at the end of the day, like no matter who you are, you can always use a positive word. You can always use a friend. And so it's just fun to come together. And like you said, like-minded people, it's just, even if we don't understand exactly what you're selling, we understand the process of what you're doing. We understand the grind. We understand everything else. So it's so easy to relate and be able to share those things. So it's just like we're talking to old friends right now. So it's really fun.
So with that being said, I got a favor to ask of y'all.
Only one.
There's a young lady that's at our postal service that saw our success through Whatnot and reselling, who started selling on Whatnot. Her name is Harley, and she might even be watching, but she'll never once in a million years probably put herself out there and chat. But if she does, what do you guys want to say to Harley, who is such a super fan of yours? Is there any encouragement you want to give her? She's just starting out and Whatnot.
She needs to come hang out with us at our seller support show and be our friend and not just a super fan. We do our seller support shows every other Tuesday, and we're really big when we're not on Whatnot. I'm chatting with everybody on Facebook. Facebook is our
there she is. She's in chat.
She's here, Harley. We're already friends. I'm so glad you're here. Come chat with us in our shows, and we'll show you the ropes. We're super down to earth people. So any question you have, anything you need, just message us.
And the one thing I will say is we are accessible. That's a word that we can use. So if you ever need anything, Harley, anybody, that's what we pride ourselves on, responding to our messages within 1 business day. Because like Ashley said in the beginning, we didn't have that to us, and we always want to have that back. And just know it's a grind. It's not always easy. When the people say blood, sweat, and tears into their business, that's real. In the beginning, there's a lot of tears. There's a lot of frustration. You're going to have losses, when you have it. But it's that roller coaster ride you hear about. And as long as you stay like this unemotionally, when you have your peaks and your valleys, you're going to be just fine. So just keep at it. But if you ever
cheering you on.
You ever need anything, and that goes to anyone, we are an open book. We're an open inbox. We're literally just a few words away.
And Jacob's cell number is no. I'm just kidding.
I called my one favor in for you, Harley. That's how much I love my postal service, by the way. They're absolutely tremendous down there in our area.
I do too. I got a great postal service.
Harley's killing it for us, and we appreciate everything she does for our business. Can't say enough about the U.S. Postal Service. They get a bad rap a lot of times. But
I know we're very blessed with ours.
Ours is amazing too. I know people complain. I'm like, are you nice to them? Do you take care of them? I don't know what else to tell you, because kindness goes a long way. And since the beginning, just been kind, and we have amazing ladies at ours. So.
We see you, Mel, talking about that paprika.
Our postal service loves the resellers, because I live in a town of 3,500 people, and we have about a dozen resellers here.
Wow.
And we probably bring, between all of us, we're probably bringing 2,500 packages a week to the postal service. And what people don't realize is they need that to stay open.
Yeah,
the smaller ones too.
They need packages. A small rural post office needs packages to stay open.
Yeah, they get credit hours, I think.
They just love us.
Yeah.
They just, they're just like, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And in California, sometimes when I bring packages, they're just like, and they're not as excited to see resellers come in.
Yeah. I mean, I could drive 25 minutes down the road and probably have a completely different experience, but
Yep.
I'm lucky enough to live near the great state of Tennessee. I can probably walk there from my house in Alabama. So, and they're but just a better post office. The vibe's better, the folks are better, everything's
Yeah.
better over there. So we appreciate them so much. So I had a feeling that she might be lurking. So I gave her an opportunity to come on the podcast. I was like, hey, come on the podcast. I'm gonna call her out right here. Come on.
We're sending you an invite right now.
Sending your super fan into the mix and to be able to ask those burning questions. So this is the part of the podcast where we ask those burning questions. Ellie, you want to kick it off for the
with a burning question?
Yeah, with a burning question.
Covered everything. My burning question was, how do y'all work together and if there's any kind of conflict? But you guys pretty much covered that.
Yes, for sure. So we'll open it up to chat. I hate calling chat. So I don't know how you guys feel about that.
We understand completely. Every once in a while when you say it, because it's a factual thing, it is the chat. But
it is the chat. So we're going to open it up to the fellow Launchpad resellers out there. We are your mission control for all things reselling, and stay in tune for our next season, which starts June 1st, by the way. So more to come on that. And let's see, we got a question here.
What's her whatnot shop name? Your postal worker, Bob. Do you know?
Oh, I think it's, I don't know.
Drop it in chat.
Harley, drop it in chat. That's
Harley,
a good question.
Harley D, there it is. She dropped it in. Let me.
Oh, okay, that's what it is. That's
Harley,
why I was like,
I'm
I don't think she
following
has.
you right now.
Yeah, we're pulling our phone out to go follow
I'm
right
gonna
now.
follow you right now, Harley.
HARLIED.
And I do follow her along with another 10,000 people, which is probably why I don't remember.
Harley needs to go schedule some more shows. Harley, you need to only have one schedule. My pro tip. This is a pro tip. Schedule as many shows, even if you have to reschedule it or change the date and time. Get all those shows, because bookmarks is the #1 most important piece on Whatnot.
That's right. You can always change it.
Schedule.
Always change it.
Schedule. All right. So questions. Let's go. I almost did it again.
Questions.
Does it tell you how many
I'm going to call you chat if you don't get to going.
We've got 22
Awesome.
people live. I don't know if you can see it in the top.
Yeah, 22 people live. Let's get those questions. Ozzy.
Cameron heard
Ozzy,
our
stop
dog
knocking stuff over.
Over.
I don't know. Is Ozzy your guy's cat?
Yeah, he's our golden doodle.
He's
That's
yeah, he's our golden doodle.
golden doodle. I thought
Golden
you said
doodle.
that. Yeah.
I was so
I
close
listened
to
well.
buying
I have a question. So when you said something about how you built your new house. Did you build your new house with the business in mind so that you could plan out how you were going to run this?
No, we started off in a 600 square foot apartment.
Where we sold our couch.
That's crazy.
We sold our couch to be able to have our inventory, just so you know how crazy we were in the beginning. Yeah.
It was so small. It was actually like a carport transformed into a living room. And we have pictures of the whole thing on our Instagram. But no, it was really a blessing in disguise the way it worked out with getting a new home. We were supposed to get a house much smaller than this.
About 1,500 square foot. We ended up with 1,800 square feet.
Yeah. And when we went to go get the house, something had happened where they said it wasn't available anymore, just like out of the blue. And we never would have asked for the house that we're in right now. And he's like, it's available for you guys. Like, do you want it? All the doors opened. And to be honest, it was such a blessing. And now our flex room is our Whatnot selling space. On all of our shipping and inventory stays in our garage. So we're very, very thankful how that worked out.
Cool.
Well, let me just say that I've been looking back through the comments while you guys were talking, and your community really showed up for you today. And I think that's a testament to your prowess on Whatnot and your work ethic and all the things. So I want to give you guys one last chance and opportunity to tell people where they can find you on social media, because that's important for your business to grow. And we'll talk about what's next for House of Coop after you do that. So go ahead. We're going to make you big so that way we can get the full impact.
Yeah, we're on all social media under House of Coop. The only one that's different is Instagram is House of Coop FL. But like Ashley said, we're really big on posting on Facebook. That's kind of our main hub right now. But we do post consistently on TikTok, Instagram. This is kind of a kick in the butt too, is we're trying to expand into doing more YouTube. Right now we just have the one real video for shipping. So we're really, this year, that's kind of one of our goals, is to dabble more in YouTube. So make sure you subscribe there. And of course, Whatnot, House of Coop.
Yeah, Whatnot, we have shows every Wednesday and Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time. And then we also share all of our supplies, everything that we use is all available on our social media. And then the YouTube video he's referring to is a 2-hour shipping 101 video that now over 10,000 people have watched and have benefited from. So we're happy to share our experience and learn from our little mistakes we've made over time.
That's awesome. So what we'll do with this podcast, just so you guys know, is we're going to actually collab with you guys, and we're going to send you an invite to collab on this YouTube. That'll also help your YouTube channel as well.
Awesome.
So be on the lookout for that. And what's next for House of Coop?
Oh my gosh, we don't stop. What is next for us?
Well, one thing I can say is we're working on continuing to make our shows better and constantly. So we were doing a lot of raid trains, and we kind of overcommitted because we just wanted to be a part and really be a part of a lot of them. So we pulled back from raid trains where we have like a few more that we're finishing out. So for a good few months at least, we're just going to focus on how can we perfect our processes and our shows even more. And we're working on expanding on how we're buying. Like I said, we got a potential of buying a whole estate. So we're going to, figure out the logistics of that. We've never dealt with furniture. There's a washer that's involved. It's like all these things that it's not just things that we can sell on Whatnot. So, what can we do and how are we going to manage that? So kind of just expanding what we're doing every day and building those relationships because to be fully sustainable as a business anywhere, you have to have relationships everywhere, and we can't just focus on just those relationships on Whatnot because we need to be able to funnel our business to be able to be on there. So it's expanding outside of Whatnot, not necessarily to sell everywhere else because that's our main focus and our priority,
but even just social media and sharing and being open and getting people love to know about people. And so what is common to us, people just want to see, what's going on behind the scenes. And we love sharing that. There's last year, 20 million people downloaded the Whatnot app. So there are people coming on nonstop that are new. And yeah, we love talking with people. So
yeah, social media sales, we've talked about that a lot on this podcast, how that's growing in the States. It's already huge overseas. All the things, all the key markers for success that will just keep growing here as well. And I can't say enough about that. It sounds like you guys are integrated into the Whatnot community really well. You've been to all the conferences and things of that nature. Any last words of advice before we wrap things up?
Well, one, for social media, even though she's a social media expert, if you don't know what to post, just post anything. When we worked 9 to 5, I was lucky I could be on my phone pretty much the whole time. And I was always wondering what a reseller was doing. What are they doing? What's it look like to go through a thrift store on a Thursday afternoon? Even though it might seem like this is just every day for you, post it. Let people know who you are, and you can build up a brand and a following really quick just by posting what you're doing. Don't overthink it. Just, this is me. This is what it is. And you don't have to make it theatrical because, that may have worked 10 years ago, for all those little gimmicks and that, but people just want real. And if you're posting real, you're going to get real following and real people back that are, you'll start seeing that uptick real quick.
And I think my one thing is just really find some people that you can relate to on the app. Whatnot, there's no other place like Whatnot. All businesses work so closely there. And, people it's normal to feel discouraged while you're building, and no one understands Whatnot like another Whatnot seller. So find somebody that you can talk to. You're not alone. Give yourself grace when you make mistakes. And just,
I've heard that before from someone named Ruth Ann, four-season picker. Ruth Ann, final thoughts for the podcast. I appreciate you being here, by the way.
Thank you so much for having me. I have learned so much from this podcast, and tonight I can't wait to be in more of your shows. And I've already been kind of, studying up on you on your Instagram page, and I'm just grateful. I'm just grateful for this community. Those two people on the top of the screen have helped me so much. I can't say enough about Bob and Ellie. There's so much more I'm going to ask of Ellie that I haven't yet. So when when my life settles down a little bit, because I need help on the social media aspect. So,
Yeah,
but
for
I'm
those-
grateful. Thank you so much for having me, guys.
we appreciate you, Ruth Ann, for taking the time. And the core of what makes this podcast really successful is Ellie behind the scenes, working and doing all of the coordination for this
I
podcast.
agree.
So I want to just again, like my wife with the business, Ellie is running pretty much this podcast. I do a lot of the tech stuff, and we have like minds in a lot of things, so we're always on the same page, which is super helpful. Um, so Ellie, I'm going to give you the stage for a second to talk about Tennessee Treasures and how people can find you on socials, and then how they can follow you and whatnot as well. Good.
I appreciate it, but don't undervalue yourself. We're partners in this. I'm
Yeah.
not doing this alone. Tennessee Treasures on whatnot, just like here, underscore. On everything else, there's no underscore except Instagram. So Instagram's Tennessee underscore Treasures. Facebook is Tennessee Treasures. TikTok is Tennessee Treasures. All of the treasures. And
Boy, treasures she has. Let me tell you, I just recently got back from Tennessee. I was helping Ellie get through some of her inventory and helping rearrange stuff. That's how much I believe in her business, in her family. And I love her children. I love her husband. They're great people. So make sure you guys are following Tennessee underscore Treasures or Tennessee Treasures on all the socials. Such a great community to be a part of. I want to remind you guys of something too before I do that. Storage Auction Pirate is going to be on next Monday. 300,000 plus subscribers on YouTube. 1.2 million subscribers on Facebook. Let's go. So
Wow.
he'll be now the biggest social media presence in reselling that we've had on the podcast to date. Wade's Treasures was kind enough. He was on as well, another storage auction seller. Was kind enough to put us in touch with Mike over at Storage Auction Pirate. So if you're into storage, the storage wars scene or storage lockers in general, you're definitely not going to want to miss next Monday's podcast. It's going to be one of those like this one, a must-see YouTube TV. So be on the lookout for that. And what I'd like to remind you guys of is if you can't be good at it. We're going to catch you on the next episode of Launchpad Reseller Podcast. And stick around, guys. I got one more question for you off camera. All right.